Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, we are talking about my ultimate dream slot car track build, and we've got to the next big step now, which was getting the grass down on the track. I mean, I cannot tell you how ecstatic I am with how good this actually turned out. Now, I did this over the weekend as a fun little project. My son was helping me out through the entire project, and we had a blast doing this. So if you didn't watch in the last episode, we already cut all of our pink foam, and now it was time for us to actually put the plaster on it. Now, what I actually ended up using is this Dry Decks. I got this at Home Depot. It's lightweight spackleting though for like a wall if you were to be patching a hole. Same stuff. Now to apply it, I actually just used a paintbrush. I would dip it out, slop it on there, and then take the paintbrush to just go back and forth and back and forth. And that would work it down into it, and then I could go kind of lighter as I went to smooth it out a little bit. But we still want a little bit of a rough texture. This is dirt after all. It's not gonna be perfect. So after I had painstakingly taken every piece out and covered the entire thing in mud, I then set everything off to the side and let that dry. Once I knew it was good and dry, it was time to move on to painting everything. So I took it over to the table again, one piece at a time, and I took some cheap chocolate brown apple barrel paint from Walmart. It was $1.50 for this stuff. And I took it, put it in a big glass, then put a little bit of water in there to get it a little more runny. And then I just went to town slapping that on with a brush. I mean, there was nothing fancy about this. I wasn't trying to be perfect. I just wanted it to just kind of run all over the place because it would dry a whole lot of different hues if you leave it running like that and you just slap it on, which is what's called a wash if you do a lot of miniature painting. I do some here on the channel if you check it out. But anyway, I got all that slapped in there and I let it dry. The good news about that apple barrel paint, it actually dries relatively quickly, even if you water it down like I did. So it only took it about an hour to dry completely through, and I was ready for the next step. Now, after it finished up drying all the paint, it was time to do our grass. And the way I did it is I used this stuff right here. It's Type Bond. It's just wood glue basically, but it's from Home Depot, so you can get these giant bottles for really cheap. I took this stuff, I put it in a spray bottle with about, a 1/4 of an inch of glue, and then I filled the rest of it up with water, and that will make a sprayable version of the glue that we can saturate everything with. After that was done, I then took the glue straight from the bottle, and I would just slather it all over the top of these things, just getting it all wet everywhere. And then I took the paintbrush, and I would keep it in a cup of water, because this is water-soluble glue whenever it's wet. So I'd take it with that paintbrush and I would just stick it right on top of the glue and just start spreading it out everywhere. Now, after I got done spreading it out, if it started to clump up in the brush or anything, I'd throw the brush in the water, move on to a different piece, and I could keep on going. So I got the glue all spread out over one full piece. So now we come to the first product I actually had to order online. I couldn't find any local, so I got this off of Amazon. This is Woodland Scenics Blended Turf. If you're looking for this, it's like $9 a bottle on Amazon at the time of making this video. But this stuff, there is no better thing to make grass on your train layout, your HO layout, your 1/32 scale, whatever you're doing. This stuff is great. You just set there from the top, you sprinkle the bottle right onto that glue, and it just makes it look like a freshly mowed field. I don't care what scale you're doing, whatever. This stuff always looks good, and it's hard, and it lasts for a long time if you put it on this way. So that glue is all over it. It's very thick. Sprinkle all of that over the top of it, and then take your squirt bottle, and I mean spray it down. You're gonna get it really wet. And what this is gonna do is as it dries, it will glue all these little things together and it will be, stuck on this track. So you can see I can come over here now, I can put my hand on it. I'm not gonna tear up the grass, but it still keeps that really puffy look. And a little bit will come off, but it's tiny. So this is something you're going to need if you're building a slot car track, because you need your scenery to be durable. Nobody ever talks about this, but if you're going to run actual racing on your slot car track, you have got to make it strong where a kid can play with it. I am ready for a 4-year-old to come play on this track. And that is the thing. Whatever you're putting out here needs to be able to survive. So the building is kind of fragile. It's all the way in the center though, so nobody should ever be reaching out there. But you don't really want to put any of your scenery over in here, because if you do, as soon as somebody has a wreck, the first thing you do is you reach out just like that. If you have scenery right here in this really common wrecking area, you're going to break it all the time. Same thing. You notice that I put this tower over here in the corner. It's because most of the wrecks are going to happen right here. So you're always reaching in right here. If that tower would have been on this side, I'd hit it all the time. So just kind of think about your scenery and what you're doing as you're designing your track for ease of access, because you have to reach out here a lot during racing because there is a lot of crashing. Sorry to get on a sidetrack, but it was important if you're doing this with me. Now, after I put all the grass on and all the spray, I let that set for an entire day. This stuff will take forever to dry, but once it does, I'm telling you, that is strong. And if you did it straight on MDF instead of on the foam, it'll be even stronger. At that point, everything had dried and it was time to fit it back into the track. Now, it all went in very well. It was a little bit thicker now from the mud. So there was a few spots where as I pushed it down into the track, it snapped those pieces off. It wasn't a big deal though, it was just small pieces of white showing. So I cleaned that up with a shop vac, and then I went back with that same brown that I painted before with, and I just put that over those white spots, and that cleaned it up to the point we are right now. So after I got the grass down, something I noticed is I needed a little more variety in the track. Now I'm still working on printing buildings, so you can see there's one here, but I wanted something else too. So I actually took the original AFX guardrails and I spray painted them silver, because a bright orange guardrail on this scenic track would not go well together. But spray painting them silver, you can actually see they came out looking really good, and they kind of hide some of my uh-ohs around the edges of the track, so it actually worked out really well to do that. Well, hey, I just wanted to come on here and tell you a little bit more about the track. I think a lot of guys have been really enjoying this content. If you're a current slot car guy, leave it down in the description. I've been trying to answer everybody's comments as they come. I am also wanting to do some videos with the guy that runs slot tracks. Really good personal friend of mine. His name's Mike Rowe. He builds some pretty sweet slot cars and has one of the most amazing slot car tracks like anywhere on the internet. So I want to get over there and show that to you. But anyway, guys, this has been the track. I am super happy with how it turns out. I guess we can call this grand reveal time here at the end of the video. But until next time, I'm Wes. Enjoy your day off and enjoy these pictures of the track.